Hey guys, good morning. Hope you had a great first day. I enjoyed working with you yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it too. I know it was a little overwhelming. The first day is always overwhelming. That's okay. Not a big deal. I ask you to trust Sharon and myself. We will walk you through this process throughout the semester and ensure you are successful. So take a big breath. Know that we're going to take care of you as best we're able to ensure you succeed. You're going to work hard, you're going to learn a lot, and have fun with it. The second thing I want to tell you is yesterday I mentioned the papers and peer review. And that was just to let you know that it's an important part of the course. But I also want you to not focus on that. Just forget about the papers, forget about peer review. It's not important right now. We will discuss that in week 3. So don't worry about it. What's important right now is to figure out what is going to be the behavior you want to change and who is your target population. That's what's important. And if you're not sure, that's okay. You've got 2 weeks to figure that out. A little bit longer, actually. You'll really need to pull it in when you start writing your papers. But what I need you to do now is to dive into the literature to figure out exactly what is going to be the behavior you want to change and who is going to be your target population. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I know I am really interested in HIV prevention. I want to reduce transmission of new HIV cases. That is my area of interest. That's what I care about. But outside of that, I'm not quite sure what behaviors should be. I know that testing is important. I know that viral suppression is important. I know people can take PrEP or PEP. These are all things I know, but I'm not quite sure how to define that behavior or what populations. Go into the literature and see what other researchers have done. See how other researchers defined populations. With HIV, for example, you'll probably see that it's driven by the epidemiology data. That's common, by the way, in nearly every health area. We look at the epi data, and based on groups where there's a disparity, we tend to target those groups. However, that group is defined. In HIV, sometimes it's defined based off of demographic characteristics. Other times, it's defined off of a sexual behavior or a substance use practice. In other disciplines, it may be defined more by age. So figure out how other researchers have split out your population or split out the target demographic and use that to figure out the population that you want to focus on. And then also figure out what is the behavioral outcome. There are a lot of outcomes you can pick. If I wanted to focus in on HIV, I could pick a ton of different outcomes. But for the purposes of this class, I want one. One outcome for which you can find a lot of literature for your target population. Pick that one behavior. That's what you're going to use all semester. Again, this is a KISS class. We want to keep it simple because our goal is to understand how we can talk about that behavior and population using theoretical constructs. Remember, the goal is to get fluent in talking about and writing about theory. Secondary to that is learning about your population and your behavior. So, spend the next 2 weeks diving into the literature. Start your evidence table and draft your focus statement. That's all you got to do. And in week 3, we'll worry about the papers. So forget about those. I want to revisit a couple of things in this video just to remind people of the assignment yesterday and how the course is laid out, because I know it was a bit overwhelming. So the first thing I want to do is pull up the syllabus. Let's take a peek together. So here is our course syllabus. And I scrolled down to page 11. Page 11 is the course calendar. Different faculty lay out their course syllabuses and different syllabi in different ways. I tend to create one big document where you can find all the information. For some people, that's really useful. So other people, it's overwhelming. I find it useful, so that's what I do. You always want to come to this course calendar. This is stop number 1. In the course calendar, you will always see the readings or tasks that you need to complete before the following Monday. And you'll also see the assignments that are due before the following Monday. Everything is due by 10 minutes before the start of class, so 8:50 a.m. So for next week, you'll see that I've asked you by next Monday morning to complete a pre-course survey and to submit your focus statement. I've also asked you to do a reading by Hillard, to review Theory at a Glance, and watch this video from Dr. Teresa Bird, who used to be on faculty here and is now at Texas Tech. This will be really useful for those of you who don't have a strong background in health promotion. So we have an interesting class. We have those of you who are getting your doctorate in health promotion and behavioral sciences, and perhaps you did an MPH in health promotion. We also have folks who did not do an MPH in health promotion. Health promotion is sort of it's an interesting field in that we attract people from psychology, sociology, anthropology, education. We get folks from a lot of different disciplines. And so some of those folks are in the room and they get a little catching up to do. Similarly, we have folks from other departments within the school who are minoring in health promotion and don't have as much of a background. Week 2 is for you. Week 2 is where we do the foundational review of some of that information. So, some of you, this will be a quick review. Others of you, this will be new. And that's okay. In week 3, which is the next time we see each other, that's when we'll worry about the papers. That's when we'll worry about the posters, the abstracts, peer review, all that stuff. So don't even think about it until then. There are some resources that I've asked you to watch and poke around with in week 3. For example, the University of Alabama Library has a lot of great resources on how to use PubMed more effectively. We have PubMed on the TMC Library website right here. If you go to the TMC Library, you can click on this link and it'll take you to PubMed, which is great. But it doesn't really explain how to use it effectively. University of Alabama does. So go there, check out their videos, learn a little bit more about PubMed if you've never really played around with it much. I would say PubMed, EBSCO are kind of my 2 go-to search engines. That's my personal preference. I know a lot of folks use Google Scholar. Google Scholar is great in a pinch, but you're not going to always get the most up-to-date or comprehensive review from Google Scholar. So if you need something really quick and dirty, fine, use a Google Scholar. It's not going to end the world, right? But I think to be more comprehensive, I really encourage you to go to the TMC Library. PubMed is going to be your go-to, followed by EBSCO, in my opinion. For some of you guys, it might be other ones, depending on your discipline. I also encourage you to review the material in week 3 about journal articles and how to do a review of an article. It's not something I really teach in this class, but it's important to know and important to think about. So I encourage you to do it. You'll actually get, PhDs will get practice on that next spring. but go ahead and read the information just so helps you read more critically as you're going through the literature this semester. And then lastly, there's some resources for you to look at. So that's your next 3 weeks in terms of course material. All of that information is available right here in your modules tab on Canvas. There's week 2 with all of the resources. There's the video by Dr. Bird. And then here's everything for week 3, including the link to the University of Alabama videos. So you're all set. When you want to submit your focus statement, you'll click on this tab right here, Focus Statement. And it'll take you essentially over here to the discussion board in here, where I've pasted in the instructions for the assignment, and you can just hit reply and make your post. That's simple. Easy peasy. So I hope that helps with understanding the pace of the course and what you need to do to prepare for each week. The next thing that I want to bring your attention to in the syllabus are the instructions for assignments. I provide pretty detailed instructions for every assignment. It begins on page 18. And you'll notice that there are assignments for PhDs and there are assignments for DRPHs. For those of you who are not enrolled in the PhD or the DRPH, maybe you are from biostatistics, or maybe you are from a certificate program, or whatever, right? Whatever the case might be, and you're trying to figure out, do I do a PhD or a DRPH? Pick the one that is most appropriate for you. But whichever one you pick, commit to it all semester. For those of you whose work is heavily in the community, you might want to go with the DRPH. For those of you who, like for example, are from biostats and have more of a research focus, I would encourage you to do the PhD. That way you're not struggling to learn the content and think about how it applies to a community partner. The DRPHs have a little bit of a heavier lift than the PhDs in this course because everything they do has to be applied back to the community. So it's an extra step that if you're not in the DRPH, you may not want to do. Unless you really love community, in which case do it. But all of your assignments are here with detailed instructions. Review this, come to week 3 with questions about these assignments, and we'll get them answered in week 3. In terms of your focus statement, here are the instructions for the focus statement, starting on page 18 and going to page 19. So just answer those questions in the discussion post and you're good to go. So that's information about the syllabus. The last thing that I do want to point out in the syllabus is up here at the top. I'm going to scroll up, watch your eyes. If you have an ADA accommodation, I need to know it. And we need to know it soon so that we can make plans. And so for ADA accommodations, on the syllabus it says to contact Mary Ann Smith. After I published my syllabus, that changed. It's now Dr. Melissa Peskin. So if you need an ADA accommodation, please reach out to Dr. Melissa Peskin. She's in our department, in the Department of Health Promotion. Get your accommodation letter and send it to me. If you already got an accommodation letter, please send that to me. That way we can make sure that we do everything for you to succeed in this course. So that's everything you need to know about the syllabus. Lastly, I want to do one more quick reminder about the literature review, because I'm encouraging you to start in your literature review now. So just a quick reminder. There are 3 tabs in the assignment, and you can find this tab, the evidence table assignment, on Canvas if you go to modules. And within the module, I'm going to close this up. We can scroll all the way down to resources at the bottom. Resources conducting a literature review, evidence table assignment revised September 2022. Click on that When you click on that, you will get this table. Here are the questions that you have to answer if you're a PhD. Here are the questions you have to answer if you're a DRPH. As a reminder, you'll put the number for the citations in this column. In week 4, you'll give me 12. By week 5, there'll be 24, and by week 3, 36. You'll give me the full reference in APA 7. This is either a journal, a book, a government report, a dissertation, or other. You'll summarize the purpose, the measures, the findings, and any other comments. Here's what's important, and I don't think I said this in class yesterday. You should provide enough detail in this table so that you never have to go back to the article again. Let me say that again. It's important. Put enough information in this table that you never have to go back to the article again. That is the goal. Because what's going to happen, big picture, you're going to have all of your citations in here. And then you're going to go write a paragraph about the prevalence and incidence of your health behavior. And all the information you need is right there. And so now it's easy to write that paragraph because you've got all the information you need and you're just writing a paragraph that synthesizes your citations. And you throw in the citations into APA and you're done. Similarly, if you're writing a paragraph or two about models and theories, you've got everything you need right there. You just open up this Excel table, you summarize what you found into a paragraph, and insert your citations. So this will help you write your papers. So put enough information in here so that it's easy to do. Lastly, as you are reading the literature, you're going to come across interventions. Use this to keep track of any intervention you find, whether it's peer-reviewed, evidence-based, or promising, or just great literature. Throw it in here. Keep a running list of everything and fill in as much as you're able. If you know that if it has a website, put in the website. If you find citations, put in those. Indicate your setting, target, pop, behavioral, secondary outcome, any theoretical constructs, any information you have, put it in here. Sometimes you can't fill out every column. That's okay. Do the best you can to figure out what's going on with this intervention. This is a running list for you, and it will help you in the future. All right, I hope that helps. I apologize for the long video, but there's a lot I wanted to recap. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Reach out to Sharon or me if you have questions, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Take care.